to the Advanced Coaching Center. Today we are here in the terms of debate and our topic is education system and NEET process. So here myself Pandya along with Ms. Soumya Kuswaha. So Soumya, I think that the education system is responsible for affecting the examinations.
Why do you think that examination system is responsible for the NEET? Because I don't think so that in the system or in our country there is no any reason that we can blame on the education system for any of the examination.
Actually, we can blame in the terms of mental pressure that the education system is giving to the students. From our young age, we are not even knowing about such kinds of things. And in our schools, they are not teaching us about the challenges of life and such kinds of things. And whenever we are entering the NEET, we are facing the huge pressure and huge pressure and many more things. That's why it becomes difficult to clear that particular exam.
It means that you want to say that examination or the education system is pressurizing to the students.
Yeah, of course.
Can you tell me how it is pressurizing?
Let me give you an example. You would have listened about many of these students just deciding at the age of 16 and 17 when they are in their 10th class or 12th class. This is the kind of pressure the examination in schools are giving to these students. Like in my school, it is my board class. In your school, it is your board class. And you would be facing many of the pressure from the school. Like I'm also facing. That they are giving a huge amount of pressure to us that you will have to score well, you will have to give a good exam. And due to this, it is causing a pressure in our studies. So this is
okay, let me tell you. As you said that education system is only pressurizing to the students. But I will say that no, whatever you are assuming, whatever you are thinking that it's not right, because what happened that education system is only providing the syllabus, exam pattern or only the patterns. But here it is not pressurizing. Okay, let me firstly complete whatever you said. As you said that it is giving lots of pressure to the students, but it is not giving any kinds of the pressure to the students. What is happening that, as you gave the example that many students suicided, but why they are suiciding, do you know? Not because of examination pressure, because they are lack of fear. They are fearing from the failure. That's why they are doing these kinds of things. There is no any kinds of the pressure.
I don't only think so that it's about the fear. It's about the pressure.
About it because there is no reason behind it.
Do you know who is the most disciplined student in the whole world? Which country has the most disciplined student? Do you know about it?
Do you know about it?
Yeah, I know. I know the Japanese students are known as the most disciplined students in the whole world. Do you know why? Let me tell you, it is because these Japanese students are able to change their self, face pressure, and they are able to score well. Why? Because of the terms and technology they are using. In our education system, they are only teaching us to rote memorize. They are not clearing the concept. Like in your school, in my school, they are only focusing on scoring well. They are not clearing the concept to us.
As we gave the example, in our school these kinds of things are not happening. Let me ask you one question.
About all these schools.
I'm not, as you told about my schools, I'm telling about my school. Let me ask you one question that, as you said that examinations are only pressurizing to the students. So can you tell me that if any bank robbery happens, on that time to whom will you blame?
If any, then security system.
Yes. On that time you will blame on the security system. Will you blame on the banking system?
Banking system?
No. Kindly tell me, will you blame on that or not? You will not blame. Definitely I want to prove this thing to you that whatever happens, on that time we have to blame on these kinds of the system. We don't have to blame on the education system. We can blame on the security system. We can blame on the corruption. These kinds of the things. Why are you blaming on the education system? No, whatever you are expecting, that is the same thing.
Do you know the education minister of India is not as much educated you would be?
So what is the reason behind it? We are not finding these kinds of things. Why?
This is
we are only appointing these
education
kinds.
system is responsible. Like you may know,
education system is not responsible. Those people are choosing it. They are responsible.
It is only responsible because people are choosing. They are being corruption in our country.
Why they are doing the corruption?
EVM is being used. It is very easy to hack the EVM. You can earn the vote by it. And let me tell you one thing. That do you know about the education system of India? It is divided into many of the boards. Not only one board. ICSE, CBSE, MP, Rajasthan, Gujarat. Every state is having their different boards. Where the CBSE and ICSE students are being more skilled and they are providing more resources, more things to the CBSE and ICSE system. But what about the state board students? And due to this indifference, education system is responsible for all the failures of this student. Because from those students who belong to the state board, they would definitely not know about many of the things. Like we are not, as I am from the state board, we are not getting lab, we are not getting many of the things. So this is the thing causing by our government and
education system. It is not the problem of the education system, it is the problem into the people, into the school. They are not providing you these kinds of things. Education system is already providing these kinds of things.
If the government will not give money,
why are you leaving on the government only? provide you? Why don't you say to them? Why are you only believing
Let
on
me tell you one thing.
It only
that in
means
our
that.
MP
Let me
also-
tell you. Let me
Let
tell you.
me complete. I was saying that. So in our MP board, like you may know, there's a government school in our Katni also, at the side of Rosanagar. The government is not giving enough money for even the making the school as much better as it should, and you are saying that they will provide the resources. Do you know that they are not giving that much money that students can have a good classroom? They are just sitting in the broken chair. I have visited that school, that's why I am telling.
How can I believe on you? Because these already government is providing everything. I have seen in my
Central government is providing, not the state government. And
everyone are
education
providing.
system comes in both government. And if I will tell you about
As you
the
said
state
that
board
education
experience,
system comes in the both government, so why they are not providing there? Why they are not
because the
providing
education
to the
system is
government?
only being concerned in the CBSE board and ICSE
They are
board,
not being
about the
concerned.
state
You are,
board. They
you are
are
thinking
being.
like that. Here, what you want to say
Because
that,
you are not watching the board.
whatever you are saying, that it only means to understand that whenever any person is standing into the war, taking the shot on that time, whenever they are not killing to someone, and if any weak person is taking the shot, if they are not killing to that person, they will blame on the shot that it does not happen.
Actually,
Like that
you do not
only
even
you are
understand the point.
blaming on the
I was
education
just
system.
talking
You are not
about
seeing about the others what they what are
I
they
was
doing.
just telling about the
I am also
unequal
telling about
qualities of education system. Do you?
As you have already told about many kinds of equality, so can you tell how will you prove that if you think that they are doing the wrong thing?
Firstly, there should be only one board in whole country, so that this indifference will not be there. Then, if you are talking about the education is being so costly, the people, those who want to read in CBSE, because there will be only one KB and such kinds of thing in our state, but in our city. But if any other one want to read in the CBSE or ICSE board, they have to pay a lot of money. Like in our city also, you may see many high class schools. Those are just being paid 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs per year. So that's why poor people cannot afford that particular thing, and they are forced to join this state board. So there should be only one board.
How
That
can
board
be
will be
related
less
from the
costly.
education system? We are talking about the school money they are providing. I am talking about the education system. How are they related from it?
Tell me, this doesn't a school come under education system?
Tell me one thing. As you said that schools about they are taking lots of the fees. So tell me how they are related from the fees. I'm talking about the
I am talking
education.
about the education system
I'm
only. That
also
there is
talking about
unequal
this. What are
quality
you
in
telling
education
me?
system. I am just clearing a single point that the unequal quality of education system. Now, oppose that. How will you oppose it? It is not being unequal quality of education system. How it is not being
Stop. I am having one question with all of you. That the question arises in my mind: who is responsible for the leakage of NEET examination? Whom do you think that they are responsible for it?
Sir, as I think that education system is not responsible for the leakage of the NEET examination, just because that as I read that CBSE has taken this case and CBI has taken this case, and in it they found that there were two teachers, chemistry professor P.V. Kulkarni and there was one botany teacher Manisha Gurunal. They leaked the paper. On that time, there is a failure of their security system in the human corruption, because in there is no any kinds of the education system, because education system only provides the syllabus, exam patterns, only these kinds of things. But the people are doing the crime, they are only doing these kinds of things.
But sir, if we talk about the teachers, those are being appointed. It is being appointed by the peoples of education system only. If you will read about it, you will get to know that the high class and high post people of education system are appointing the teacher. So it is the mistake of the people of education system only that they are not appointing the honest and good teacher who will not do such kinds of things. Like in UPSC and such kinds of exam, you will see that they are having a very hard kind of teacher. Those will not sold on the money. Why? Because it is being very tough and clear examination. But in NEET, because they were not even concerned on it. That's why they just clear and they bought such kinds of teachers who just sold the paper and leaked the paper.
You have seen the many of the papers have been leaked before also, and as you both are in the different kinds of topic, and you just think that only education system is responsible for all about the leakage and whatever is happening in the term of education, whatever are being given by not only government but the state government also. So according to me, it is not happening in the first time. It has been happened the previous time also. Now if you can say that only education system was not responsible or responsible. But according to me, if you will select any one fault, whose fault it is, I want to know with you.
Actually, you would have just listened about the organization NTA, that also comes under the education system. So if you are having such a education system is a very vast thing, and all the organization is coming under that. So if you will know about the NTA, National Testing Agency, it is coming under the education system, and it was only responsible for leaking the paper, because like you are making the paper, you must be responsible for buying the teacher, you must be responsible with your teachers. Education system, the people responsible, education system is being responsible because the teachers they appointed was not as honest as they should. So that's why I'm just blaming to the education system, because NTA is also coming under the education system. So totally education system is responsible.
In this point, she is right that sir, I can also blame the NTA and the government are responsible for that. Just because of that, the government is knowing that NTA is organizing this such a highly competitive exam, but still they are unable to manage the leakage of paper. Every year in 2024 also the same thing happened with the NEET examination. In 2026, so after 2 years, same thing happened in our India. So what is the point of that? What is the government is doing? After 2 years, still the same thing happened. So we can say that the government is also responsible for that. They are unable to manage these
And
kinds
so
of
one more point is here, that in the 2015 when NEET was not being conducted, there was another exam was being conducted.
PTM. PMT.
So PMT. So that was also got leaked. And like 2025, in 2015 also they organized the re-examination. But the point was that that exam was 10 times tougher than the previous exam. So in this year also they will organize, they will definitely set a very tough paper. But what about those students who was able to clear the previous exam? It is just totally being so much corruption and bad things with the students. Those who are honest and they really read and they were able to clear the exam. And in this case, most of the students are not able to pay the fees again and again for the attempts. So most of the time, many of the students just suicide due to this. So in this case also, education system is being responsible that you are just playing with the lives of the student. It is not about leaking the paper. It's about the feelings. It's about the emotions of the student. It's about the whole life of them. So education.
As far as I know that you all are the students and you both are also students, and you will be aspirant of also NEET and other things. Which kinds of things do you expect with the NTA, or not only NTA, with the government also, because they have not taken the resignation letter with the ministers, because it was their fault and they must be responsible for it, but they are not doing anything else. They are saying that the examination will be reconducted, but it is not good, because many of the students already have committed the suicide. Who is responsible and which kinds of changes do you want to apply?
According to me, government and education system is responsible, as I have told before only that how they are responsible. And the next thing I will say, that we should improve it. Like according to me, I'm not blaming anyone, but according to me, our education and our educated person should lead the country and should lead the government, because they will know that what kind of problems they are facing during their studies. Right now, we are having an illiterate person as our PM, so definitely don't know about how to lead, how just students manage to study and their education. So on that time, and the next thing I will talk about, if I will talk about myself, so I'm just expecting with NT and the government to take a strict action towards it, and I'm just expecting that from the next year, this should not be happen, and they must be strict with the examinations and with all the examinations conducted in our country, because it's not about only the leakage of examinations, it's about the students' life, like you told that they have suicided. So.
As in 2027, I will also give the NEET examination. I only expect from the government that they should try to understand the feelings of every student, because this year what happened that the paper was leaked. On that time, many of the students suicided and they lost their life. What they will say to these students, what they will say to the parents of their students who died because of the pressure and because of the leakage of the NEET examination they gave, but still the paper was leaked. I can only expect from the government that this thing should not be happen, that they should understand the feelings of every student, that what will happen if they will do these kinds of things.
When you heard about the leakage of NEET examination, what was running in your mind, and just you both were thinking that we should leave the NEET and we should just try to be other aspirant, and just you were committed that we will do same whatever is happening, we don't mind of it, and just we will go on with it.
Actually, I am already a student of UPSC, not NEET, but I just thought that the NEET and NTA should be serious, because when I listened about it, I did not only listen about the leakage, I also listened about the suicide. And when I just saw the numbers of students suicided, so a thing that came in my mind that how bad it will be for their family and for the students who suicided, because they lost their life due to a one irresponsible organization by our education system and by our government. So I did not thought about that students should leave the NEET exam and they should not give that exam. But I think that we should just say to government, even in the way of protest, that they must be responsible, and we should just discuss about it with the education system, educational minister, NTA head, and all these.
When I heard about the NEET examination, I was only thinking that what is the difference between going to quota and reading here, because after going to the quota also the students are only suiciding. After the paper leakage, the students are suiciding at home also. There is no difference after going to quota and here, reading here. When I listened about the leakage of NEET examination, I was only thinking that after this year, I also have to give the NEET examination. I will never change my dream, because I want to become the doctor. I will definitely become, I think that. But I want from the NTA and the government that these kinds of things should not happen, because of only one paper, the whole life of the student depends.
Last question I would like to ask with you, that after listening such kinds of news that the paper had been leakaged and nobody is taking the responsible, how will you manage the pressure? The many of the students just have committed because they could not have handled the pressure. They were having the good expectation with the examination that they will be able to definitely clear in this year, and they will be able to complete all the dreams whatever they was before. But unfortunately they had to do such kinds of thing, and they had to just take such kinds of steps. So how will you manage such kinds of pressure in terms of these kinds of newses and these kinds of situations?
Actually, if I talk about myself, and if such kinds of thing will happen with me in future, then the first thing I will just think in my mind that this NEET exam and this post exists due to me, not I exist due to this post. Means exam cannot decide my future. I can even do better, and also I have many chances, many attempts. I will give my best in the next attempt, and as they are organizing the re-exam, so I will read more, I will give my 100%, and I will just clear. But giving up, I don't think so I will do, and suiciding, never, because according to me, that if you will just suicide and you will do such kinds of things, then you will just be considered as a loser. The fact is, the winner is known by his capability of not giving up. So I think for becoming that particular, for clearing that particular exam and for getting that particular post, I will just try again and again. Whether the exam is being leaked and whether whatever is happening, I will just give my best for the next exam.
According to me, sir, I will never commit the suicide, as I have listened about many of the students committed the suicide. After doing the suicide, what they got, they did not get any kinds of the things. They have only suicided and they have lost their family, their parents, everything. Because what happened that whenever we are suiciding on that time, we are only losing our parents, everything. I think that whenever any paper is being leaked, on that time we have to believe on ourselves that whatever we have read, we will do our best in that. If suppose that if we will not be able to select in first year, then we can try for the next year. Why there is need to do the suicide, why there is need to do these kinds of the things. We have the chance, we can get more things after trying again and again.
Okay, thank you so much for being the part of debate. I hope you would have gotten much knowledge through this, and you will have such many other things through this, and you will handle all kinds of pressure in your future, whatever is going to become. And I hope these kinds of things will teach you something more. Thank you so much.